So cute. Good. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and make a transition forward to walk. Come on over here for a second. I have a question for you. How badly do you want to find that go button and have it? I mean, I know you can find it, but how badly do you want it?
I would like it. I don't want to die in the process of finding it.
Okay. That's why I'm asking you that question, because I think there's a part of you that you feel comfortable with this dynamic, right? I mean, there's it's a little bit in your comfort zone to have him be here.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I think it would be more that I had a big horse roll on me as a kid, and so now I have
that. Yeah.
I have a skeleton that dances in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I mean, and that's what my instinct is. Like, I'm thinking about all the things we could do to get him going forward, and then there's something that feels like if we do that, it's not going to stick unless you get rid of that skeleton in the closet.
That skeleton's going to have to die at some point.
It's going to have to.
Working through it.
So when does
I have gotten after him with a stick. He has a big buck.
Yeah. And as long as that's in your mind, and it's really, you're really present to both of those two things. The fact that he's got a big buck and that you're going to be vulnerable to possibly being bucked off or something bad happening. It's going to keep you from really going there.
Mm-hmm. What do you have in mind?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking because what I don't want to do is give you the same old lesson over and over that you've had from a million people, because there's the reason that you keep ending up in this place where that go button is only there sometimes and not all the time is because of that skeleton.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm just thinking about different ways we could.
I will say, since I came up here and started working with Myka, he's more forward than he used to be.
Yeah, yeah. So something's working.
He was really a molasses jar before that. It's like, go.
So here's what I think is that the payoff for getting him in front of your leg and forward. I mean, imagine if he's like, his back is up, he's super round, he's light, and you can sit up there and breathe. And if you want to go sideways, you just put your leg on and you go sideways. If you want to stop, you can do Canada parts from the walk. I mean, the payoff for that, the harmony, has to be bigger than your fear. And when I say fear, I just mean that skeleton, little that niggling thing. So is the payoff bigger than the fear yet?
Yes, when I ride at home, though, I'm afraid to get in huge fights with him by myself in the barn.
Yeah, so then you kind of go back into these habits.
So I have gotten better about, like, okay, we're starting. Hey, this is not a good speed. This is I'm a camp horse. And whack. And then usually he pops and he wakes up and he's like, oh, she's serious.
Okay, so part of you think, I mean, so it's partly that you feel like right now, if you want to get him over that hump, you have to have a fight with him. And because that's how it is. It has been how it is.
Yeah, I think It's probably not as big of a fight as I think it's going to be in my head, but
okay. And now, and you know that once you have the fight, or you say it's like I call it the come to Jesus session. Yeah. And maybe that session only lasts 5 minutes, maybe it lasts 20 minutes. I don't know him well enough, but that the next time you get on, it's all about your attitude, and pretty soon you're not going to have that discussion anymore. Okay. It's just the first couple of times where he still has an expectation of you that you're going to let him be in this slow mode. That you're going to have to fight him to get out of it. If you really get clued into that payoff, you want him to be light and forward, you want to have harmony, you want it to be really fun, then you're going to be much better able to set that expectation every time you get on, and then the fighting will go away.
Okay.
So I guess I kind of want a commitment from you that if we go through that here today and now, that you're going to want it bad enough to set that expectation for him again. Maybe it means you don't ride him by yourself for a couple weeks. You always have somebody there to give you the confidence, even if it's one of these guys, that just gives you, because I know what you mean. I don't like to do that home alone either, but maybe you need to be really consistent for a couple weeks to get rid of that skeleton. Does that, that makes sense? So we have a plan, because I'll help you do basically what Henrik was having you do, and what, you've probably done a little bit with Myka too. But then I want it to stick. I don't want you to have to go through it again. You know what I mean? Okay, so is that a possibility for you to have somebody there for you the next few times you ride, at least, if we go through it today, so that you can get on and say, okay, this is what I expect.
Well, I already have a lesson scheduled with BJ for Wednesday, so
okay.
That's good.
Okay.
She can listen me around for that one, and you were thinking if your pony's sound, you're coming to play with me on Monday.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So maybe
there's two possibilities.
Okay.
Right
So maybe tomorrow you lunge him instead, or I guess what I don't want you to do is put you and him in the situation between now and your lesson with BJ where you get to fall backwards, and then you could tell her what we're up to, what the plan is, that you get on and you have this expectation that is so clear.
She's aware of my come to Jesus with Myka that I did here, where I was. And she was like, yeah, if I told you to do that when I met you, you would have cried. And
right.
Like,
I mean, that's the thing. BJ has gotten you to the point now where the rest of us can say, okay.
Right.
Right?
That is exactly
right. So I have a feeling BJ's probably going to be willing to support you in this now if you're willing to go. I mean, the big question is, how bad do you want to get beyond that skeleton?
I want beyond the skeleton.
Okay.
That skeleton pushed me out of horses for over 10 years.
Okay.
So, I mean,
okay.
It took a long time to get back into ponies.
Yeah. Okay. So it's worth it.
There's a reason they tell you should get back on when you get thrown off. When you can't get back on, it screws you up all mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like a rubber band, though, isn't it? I mean, you get somebody to push you beyond it, and that skeleton pulls you right back to this place again. It's like this rubber band that keeps. And I want you to snap that rubber band. It has to be worth it to like once and for all get rid of that.
So you're telling me I need to reach in and find that immortal 14-year-old to hang out here.
Yeah.
Like, sure, great, 3 foot, no problem.
Yeah.
Of course, don't bother
Yeah. But not pretend the skeleton's not there. But kind of use the fuel. I mean, use the payback. What is the payback? Are you going to continue to act based on your fear, or are you now going to act based on what you want? You know what I mean? Like there's a difference. And if you have a trainer that helps you act based on what you want, but then you go right back to then you're going to end up in the same place over and over and over.
Okay.
And then our lesson today would have been completely useless if we didn't have this conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, go ahead and you're not going to do anything now except I'm going to have you do the whole Henrik thing again, which means you're going to use a light butterfly leg aid.
Okay.
And do not kick him or squeeze harder or anything. Give him the light butterfly leg aid and then nail him once he doesn't walk. You're going to start from right here. So sit up tall. This is a whole new game now. And remember, you want to, when you do ask him to go, give him a little bit of a loose rein so he can go. So you're not giving him a mixed message. So butterfly leg aid. Now whip. Yes. Again, whip. Don't use your leg. Don't use your legs. Loose rein. There. Now no leg. No leg. Sit quiet. Pet him. Good boy. Make a halt. So I'm going to try to help you break all those habits that you have of kicking and squeezing. Okay, now he's ready. That's good. Now a butterfly leg aid. Wham! Yeah, loose rein. Loose rein. Totally loose rein. I do not want to see him on the bit for a few minutes. Good. And halt. Good job, Myka. Very light leg aid. Oh, pet him. Pet him. Good. And halt. You see his hind end? I mean, that's what we want. We want him to initiate with the hind end. Very small leg aid. Whip, whip. That's too slow. Loose rein. Good. Good. And if we start it here in the walk, there, boy. It's less scary, you know, for both of you. And halt. Good. See, he's paying attention now. Super. Loose rein. Butterfly leg aid. Yeah, good girl. Good. Again, use your whip again if he doesn't really go. There. Now totally follow. Totally. Yes. Because, Myka, he knows about the skeleton. Because every time you really ask him to go, the skeleton is inside you saying, but no. So he is listening to the skeleton. He's only doing that. He's colluding with your skeleton to keep you safe. And you need to tell him, okay, no more. That skeleton is gone. I want you to listen to me. Now halt, don't kick him. Halt, if he slows down, halt. Okay, light leg aid. Now go! Go with him. Your body, loose rein. Your body goes with him. Good job. Good job. Trot. I don't care. Yeah, trot. Loose rein all the way around the arena. Lean forward a little. Pretend there's a kite. Oh, gorgeous. The other thing that happens a little bit with your position is that you get behind. So pretend you have a kite tied to your sternum, pulling you up and forward, over his center of balance. Prepare to walk from your seat and walk. Good. And we don't want him on the bit yet. We will get that real easily, no problem. He has no problem going on the bit. Okay, now you're going to go forward more. Even now, go forward with your shoulders. Yes, good. Okay, prepare to halt and halt. Good, and butterfly leg aid, go forward, loose rein. Oh boy, pet him. What a good boy, that was so good. Now no leg, but be pulled forward by the kite. Chin up, let the kite pull you forward. Yep, and use your whip if he doesn't go. Don't use your leg. Yeah, again, now go forward. Don't fall backwards, whatever you do. It's the skeleton that pulls you backwards. And then he goes, oh, I better listen to that. Nice. Forward. And it's kind of from your core, too, that goes forward with him. Prepare to halt quietly from your seat and halt. Ooh, nice. What a good boy. Okay, prepare to trot. And butterfly leg aid, go forward, loose rein. Awesome. This is his natural tendency. The only reason he sucks back and he's lazy is because of that skeleton. Do you believe me?
Yep.
Look how happy he is here. This is not hard for him. He is not a lazy horse. Really good. Prepare to halt and halt. Nice, Myka. Good. Prepare to trot. Loose rein. Butterfly leg aid. Kite forward. Ooh, good. Look at him push from behind. That's quite an engine he's got. Good. Breathe. No leg. Let the kite pull you forward. Beautiful job. Now you're going to change rein across the diagonal. Use your whip if he slows down. The only reason he might slow down is because of habit. So you're just going to, not too much leg. Use the whip again. That's too much leg. Use the whip. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Lean forward. Let the kite pull you forward. Really good. Really good. Prepare to halt and pet him. Make a big deal about him right now. So good. We have to train him to go for what you want instead of to go for your fear, because he listens to your fear. Good. And trot. Nice. What a good boy. I don't care if he canters. Good. Good. Super. No leg. Let him carry you along. Let the kite pull you forward. Take your upper body forward up over his center of balance, which is right behind the withers. Really nice job. Woo, look at that engine. Fancy trot. It will never be hard to get him on the bit once you have the engine. So don't let her ride him around on the bit until he's here.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, go for it. Just let go. Just let him. Trust him. This is a horse who has been protecting you for years. As long as you've had him, he's been listening to your fear and keeping you safe. Now, trust him to keep you safe when you go forward with him now. That's awesome. Good, Myka. Oh, what a good boy. Trust him. Trust him. That's very good. Prepare to halt and halt. Nice. I would rather you halt, like this was your best halt so far because you did not lean back. You actually don't even need to lean back with him. You just need to stop your motion. Did you feel how this was better? Yeah. So just think, as you go to halt, stop instead of getting behind. When you get behind the motion, it kind of pushes him on the forehand. And we want him to get lighter and lighter off the forehand. Okay, prepare to trot. Get your kite ready. Butterfly leg aid and trot. Good. Okay, now, there's 2 ingredients, and you just keep trotting around, no leg aid. I'm just going to put some ideas in your head. There's 2 ingredients to getting connection, meaning, having him on the ace. The first one is having him track up and have energy, and I would say we definitely have that right now. The second ingredient is alignment of his spine on whatever your line of travel is. So now put him on a 20-meter circle in the middle between B and E, and you're very gently going to start to ask him to align. Whip, lean forward, whip. Good. You're going to very gently ask him to align his spine on the circle. But if you lose the tracking up or the forward when you do that, you're going to use your whip. So that he starts to understand that it's not your fear asking him to bend, it's you. Yes, right now, anytime you use the reins, he thinks it's your fear. Yes, awesome. Teach him it's not your fear. He can go forward as you guide him into the correct alignment on the circle, and he stretches down into the bend. Lovely. Such a good boy. This horse, Myka, will take care of you to the end. This horse is never going to hurt you. I can see it in him. He has been protecting you all this time. Tell him he doesn't have to protect you anymore. He has to now be your partner. He has to go forward with you. Good. Super. Such a good boy. Lovely. Tracking up, starting to give you the correct bend. It's a little inconsistent in the bend, only because you're leaning in a little. So as you ask him to bend to the right, I'm going to ask you to take your body up and out to the left a little bit, like you're going to post. Yeah, good. Post diagonally over his left shoulder, and then at the same time, you're going to turn your belly button slightly to the right, so that you're turning him, yes, good, by turning your body rather than turning him by leaning in. Yes. Good. Beautiful. Let him know he does not have to protect you anymore by being a slug. Good. Super. Shorten up your reins a little bit. Leaning forward. Leaning forward. Can you see? Look, because you could help remind her about the body position. Good. Good. There. It's like, seriously, Myka, it's like half an inch difference in your body position, Really good. Yeah. Go large.
It's really not much, but it makes a huge impact.
It makes a huge difference in his ability to carry her forward,
Makes total sense.
And all of us, we get kind of, especially horses that don't like to go, we kind of get like, oh, we got to drive.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Good. If you want him to be a little bit more supple in his pole, just like kind of make your wrists a little softer. Squeeze your fingers a little bit and think about getting into his there. You now circle 20 meters here. Take your weight to the outside. Supple his pole by just tiny little softness in your wrist. Yes. Good. Yeah, exactly. Good job not going to your leg. Lean forward. Lean forward. Take your tummy up, your shoulders up. Your core. You want to hold yourself up with your core and forward with your core muscles, so he doesn't feel you kind of fall back into what I call the trough of the wave. You want to feel like you're riding the crest of the wave as he goes forward. You know what I mean? And if you fall backwards, all of a sudden you're in the trough of the wave, and he'll slow down to wait for you. Now supple is pulled gently there, and by getting that last little bit of suppleness, that means you have total control over whether his spine is lined up correctly on your circle. You know?
Yeah.
Nice. You are a very, very effective, competent, good rider, and so. Yeah, I really think the only thing that's keeping you from having this go button all the time is that stupid skeleton. Yeah, good. Shorten your reins just a hair, but do not increase the pressure or tension on the reins. Just get a little bit more consistent with your hands out in front of you. Lovely job. Stay on this circle, and now I would like to see, don't do it yet. But we're going to do a couple of transitions between trot and walk. But here's what's going to happen. As soon as you ask him to go to walk, he's going to start answering the skeleton, and he's going to cut the engine and try to slow down. You know what I mean?
Yes, he will.
Now, so you're going to, just like what I was talking about in the halt, you're going to keep your body forward and up. You're going to go so gradually into walk, and give him a cluck and a tap with the whip if he starts to cut the engine. And Myka, take 10 to 20 strides to do the transition so that he keeps trotting into the walk. You know, Henrik talks about climbing up the staircase. So, yeah. Oh, good. No, don't lean back, and trot on. There was just a little moment where you leaned back, you kind of round your lower back and lean back a little bit, and that's when he sucks back. So keep your torso really engaged. Okay, now go gradually to walk. Oh, yeah. Oh, gorgeous. Did you feel how your core needs to be there for him? Otherwise, when you sink back, that's your fear position. When you hunker down and sink back into your tailbone, and he's immediately going to stop because he knows that you want him to if you do that. Okay, prepare to trot. And trot. Yes. Good. Now, correct alignment on the circle. So anytime he feels like, he's kind of chaotic and looking around or coming off the aids, just think about creating that correct bend so that he's aligned correctly on the circle without letting your fear creep in. So you've got to keep your upper body forward, your core engaged, keep your wrists and fingers really supple. That's the other thing your skeleton does, is it makes you tense up in your arms. So if you banish that skeleton, you're no longer going to tense up in your arms and your wrists when you pick up the reins. So he's going to know it's okay to keep going forward. Good job. Good. This is super. Change rein across the diagonal again. Little tap with the whip if he slows down. Yeah. There's that little habit going to be in there every now and then. Good. No leg. Okay, now do a circle down there. Curve his body around the circle. Little whip. Yep, there you kind of hunkered back into your pelvis a little too much, into your tailbone. And so he sucked back. Did you feel it? Really good. Nice job. Focus on what you want. Communicate with him. That is lovely. Now stay on that circle and gradually spiral in, meter by meter, a little bit till you're on about a 10-meter circle, and your fear is going to creep in. He's going to think you want to slow down. So you're going to have to stay forward with your body, keep your wrists really soft, let him know he doesn't have to suck back. The places that your skeleton inhabits are your wrists and your core, your tummy. So you got to keep, not letting that skeleton creep into those two places. Now spiral out. Good job. Nice. Good. Because there he got more balanced and he stayed tracking up. He's not sucking back, but use the whip if it starts to suck back. Good, Myka. Now come down the long side and don't let him out of the connection on the long side. Keep the outside rein gently. Keep your inside leg riding him towards the outside rein. Don't let your skeleton creep in. Yes, good. There, beautiful. So there needs to be now some more softness in your aids. When you ask him, when you do a half halt or you ask him to bend, you got to keep the skeleton out of it. So when you feel yourself tensing up or him sucking back, you find the softness, find the balance. That's how you're going to get rid of the skeleton. Don't let there be a place for it to creep in. Change rein when you get it here to F across the diagonal. He's got a fantastic trot. Beautiful, beautiful. And now he's starting to trust you even more. You feel him let go at the base of his neck there?
Yeah.
That's what we want. Good. Beautiful. Step left. Don't let that skeleton inhabit your half halt. Don't let it inhabit your bending aids. Don't let it inhabit you at all. Change 20-meter circle at B. Lift your inside shoulder. Post towards the outside shoulder so the two of you don't lean in. If you find him struggling with the bend or not, able to be consistently bent, that's probably because you're leaning in. Good. Super. No more bend than that. Don't let him bend too much at the base of his neck because then he falls on the forehand. So it's mostly his pole that we're looking for the suppleness and the bend. He's super nice. Super nice horse. Look at that. Good. How's that feel?
Great.
Can you feel how he's starting to offer you energy now?
Yeah.
And so that gives you an opportunity to shape the energy, to channel it the way you want, gently, instead of always having to create it. Good. And that's how I know he's not a lazy horse. Not in a million years is this horse lazy. He just has been protecting your butt this whole time. Really good. Gradually go forward to walk and don't hunker down. Keep your core up. Keep your upper body going forward with the kite. Nice. Myka, beautiful job. Free walk. Really good. Really good.
Well, now I know why my mom always liked this horse. Just wanted to protect your kid.
I know. I mean, that's kind of true. He has protected you because he has been listening to your skeleton this whole time. And you know what? Just almost makes me want to cry. It's even though you've been kicking and whipping and kicking and whipping, he has been so true to your emotion that he has, gone through all of that just to keep you safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you just have to let him know he doesn't need to do it anymore. He doesn't have to keep you safe. Now you guys can be partners. It's he's had to take care of you all this time, and now you've got to rise to the occasion and be partners with him. It's really cool. I mean, he wants to go. He wants to go forward.
There was definitely a point with BJ over the last year where he got ahead of me, and I was like, wait for me. Wait for me.
Yeah.
I want to be good too.
Yeah, I mean,
And I feel like it wasn't until after summer, fall, where I was like, okay, I'm catching up again.
yeah.
I'm sure you'll shoot off ahead of me again, but that's not the first.
But you're there now. I mean, you're ready to go with him. And I think that's why you're here today, is because this is going to be your kick in the butt to say, don't make him wait for you anymore. You keep up with him. You know what I mean? Does it make sense to you when I know my language is sort of weird sometimes, but does it make sense to you when I say your skeleton inhabits your wrists and your core right here?
Oh, yeah.
Because some people, my fear inhabits my shoulders. So when I'm riding, it's my shoulders just get super tight, and so that I know I have to process that or whatever. And for you, it's definitely your lower back and your core and your wrists.
I broke my pelvis, so that makes sense.
Oh, that makes total sense. Yeah, totally makes sense.
Squish.
So you're automatically kind of wanting to protect that area. And the second you hunker down, he shuts the engine off. The second your pelvis tightens up in that area, or the second your wrists get tight, when you're asking him to bend, he shuts down.
There's a few dressage tests on file where I'm like, go! Fuck! I look like I'm pushing a barge across the arena. Like, come on.
But that's because, you know, you're giving him mixed messages, right? He knows you don't really want to go. Mentally you do, but your heart doesn't want to go. So your heart and your mind now have to get in alignment in order for him to be able to go forward. Okay, let's canter. So take your time now. Really think through this. But you're hunkering down too much right there. Yes. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
She sits on her
Yeah.
and that's just him. I'm telling these guys, I kind of want them to be able to help you, like, you know, remind you about stuff. Because it's not going to be easy for you to do this on your own, you know? So, yeah, you can, it's this
Oh, you could totally see the difference, yeah.
You've watched it.
I've watched enough, yeah, I know.
And you can see how
big
his
difference.
ears, Myka, his ears go right on you. He brings his head up and he slows down. Like, I got to take care of you, little girl.
Yeah.
And you guys just say, no, we don't have to do that anymore. If you trust him, he'll rise to the occasion. He'll go for it. He's actually a super forward horse. He's just so kind. Good. Don't care about the head. You don't care about his head right now because you know that when he lets go, right now he's so used to your skeleton taking the reins right now that he's kind of waiting for it, you know? Especially when there's distractions around and stuff. So you got to prove to him that you're not going to let that skeleton inhabit your wrists or your core. Good. Good. That's right. Good. So your first priority is always tracking up, forward. The second priority is correct alignment on the circle. And right now your wrists are still, they have a little residual skeleton in them. So he's kind of saying, So that's your job. You got to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Good. Good. Let go. Yes. Let the kite pull you forward. Oh, gorgeous. You feel that? He needs you up there. He needs you to go forward with him. Okay. Bend your elbows. Soften your hands. Yep. And 20-meter circle here. Don't nag at him. That's your skeleton that does that. You know that little kind of seesaw trying to get him on the bit? He doesn't need that in order to get on the bit. So first, get him forward. Yes. Good, Myka. I mean, one of the things you're so good at, most people take a lot longer to break that habit, that kind of seesaw habit. And once you got him forward, you didn't do that hardly at all. So if you find yourself having to kind of seesaw on the reins at all, then go back and say, oh, he's not quite in front of my leg enough. And get him a little bit more forward. Good. Now, realign him in the bend, but just laterally. Don't take back at all with the reins. Just kind of try to focus that energy on your railroad tracks. Nice. Nice. Gorgeous. You're channeling the energy laterally. You're not taking back at all. The skeleton is what takes back. Circle. Don't let your circle get flat on the two sides on the track. I'm getting a little tired too. Yeah, good. Take your kite taking you forward. Kite is pulling you forward. Ride the crest of the wave. Okay. Now guide his body, but don't lose him on the long side. So keep the circle right there. Don't come down here. Keep turning. Keep turning. Keep turning. Good. Now soften your wrists. Supple his pull, not his neck. Good. Come. Yep. There you go. Use the whip. Good. Okay. When you're ready. There you go. There's your horse. Super. Canter left lead. And go forward with him, Myka. Engage your core. Yes. Super. Soft wrists. Take yourself forward. Keep him a little straighter in the base of his neck. Come. Bump him with the leg. And when you take back on the outside rein at all, he thinks that's your skeleton. So do it with tact and suppleness. Yes. You don't want him to feel any breaks in your body. There are no breaks in your body. You are just all about forward, all about harmony, all about relaxation. Very good. Come, little tap with the whip. He's going to break. Outside rein, but no stiffness in your wrists. Straighten him in his neck. He's too bent. If he bends too much at the base of the neck, you don't ever get the suppleness in his body or in his pole. That's right. Good. Can you feel the difference? He's so much better when you don't let that right shoulder pop. And the right shoulder pops when you bend him too much in the neck. Okay, now you're going to go to trot without the skeleton. Yep. Let the kite pull you forward, right back on the aids on the circle. Hey, Tanner. You can go ahead and warm up. Just join in. Step left. Nice job. Step left if he takes his shoulders too much to the right. Good. And change direction, Myka. That's right. Soft wrists. Don't let your reins get too long. You know, I mean, you're probably going to want him to ride him slightly strung out like this for a little while, like just maybe even a few more rides. And then you'll be able to put him together more and more without the skeleton creeping in. Good. Well done. Look up. Yay! Yes! Good, good, good. Don't let that skeleton creep in anywhere in your body. Awesome. Trust him. Now this is where he leans in. You feel how you both lean in to the right? So wallpaper. Yes! Awesome correction. Now you don't need me to make that correction. You just know when you go to the right, you have got to keep your body wallpapered up and out to the left like that. Because otherwise he just leans in to catch you. Okay? And when you're ready, canter right lead. Awesome. Good. Super. Oh, good. Love it. See there, you were able to balance and collect the canter without the skeleton creeping in. Did you feel that? He stayed soft. He stayed forward. Soften your right rein every now and then. I want to see him a little more connected on the outside. Good. Keep the kite pulling you forward. Well done. Good. Get him straighter by bringing your outside, yes, bringing his outside shoulder around. It's a lovely big elastic canter. He just needs a little more bend. Yeah, go with him. Go with him and then balance him without the skeleton getting involved. Keep this now. Keep the balance. Don't let him speed up. Keep the balance. No skeleton, but just half halt. There. Nice job. No skeleton. Keep turning. Keep turning. Don't go down the long side. Good, Myka. Well done. There's your canter. And TROT. Keep the balance. Keep the bend. No skeletons involved. Well done. Look up. Now he's leaning. You're both leaning in. If he's bending the wrong way, it's just because you're leaning in. Yeah. You lean in, he'll lean in. If he leans in, you lean in. So you have to be the one to change that cycle. Awesome. And gradually go forward to walk with no skeleton in your wrist or your core. Awesome. Beautiful. Good. Free walk. Do you believe me when I say he is not a lazy horse?
Yes.
Okay. So never again are you going to operate on that belief. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's easy. Most instructors too will see that and they'll be like, "Oh, you got to get that guy going," because the skeleton is not that obvious. It's it's not right out there for everybody to see. That was beautiful. I mean, not once was he not forward after that initial conversation.
Right.
So I don't think that you're ever going to have that bucking nonsense again, ever. As long as you repeat what we did here today enough times now so that both of you are in the habit of not letting that skeleton creep back in. Right. And you were able, I mean, Myka, way easier than I thought you were going to. You let go of it so fast. You really did. I mean, it didn't, I thought it was going to kind of be back and forth, but once you let go of it, once he let go of it, it was gone. Good boy. He's such a good boy. Yeah, and no wonder your mom liked him.
She's not a horse person, but she likes this one.
But she knows. She can see it. But even like right now, you're sinking too much down into your skeleton. Yes. That affects him. So from now on, when you're riding him, stay lifted up like that. Even now. Because as soon as you do that, it kind of puts your body and his body back into the old skeleton mode. He is so cool. What's your takeaway from that today?
I think having the discussion to start off with at the walk
Yeah.
was a nice way to get into the conversation without just like,
Yeah.
hey, welcome to the arena.
Right.
Whack.
Right. Right.
Kind of more of the couch to 5K version.
Right. That's right. I like that. Couch to 5K version. What else?
And then giving up a little bit for right now on this element and just working on the engine on behind him.
Yeah. And you'll be able to get him do anything you want with the reins.
To a point where he does have a better understanding of what we want from him, and we're like, okay, now we need you to collect yourself and
Yeah.
look like a trained pony instead of one running around.
But the thing is, you've got to get so that you're using the reins and using your half halts without the brakes. Because right now he still thinks that when you go to use the reins, that you're putting the brakes on. You know what I mean? And you did that really well today when you picked up the reins and started to ask him for more flexion or ask him for a transition. It was really good. So I can just picture him now over the next few weeks as you start to add in more transitions, both between the gaits and within the gaits, as you start to do more leg yields and go back to doing shoulder in and stuff. He's naturally going to come up into a more connected, collected outline.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's not going to be because you go back to, taking the reins and making him round that way. It's going to really be because he's relaxed and he's listening to your aids.
And I totally am responsible for creating the monster of the game because of all the bucking.
Yeah,
So
it's the
became
skeleton.
Like, we're going forward. We're going to explode. Oh, crap.
So, I would disagree with you just a little bit because I want you to distinguish yourself from that voice, the one that's afraid of the bucking, because that's not you. That is a voice in your head that's saying, "Oh, you better stay safe. I'm going to keep you safe. Don't do it. Don't go forward. Don't let him go forward." And if that's you, if you think of that as you, it's a lot harder than if you think of it as a separate little voice,
Okay.
So that you rode him today. You did not let that voice ride him. You know what I mean? So you feel when that voice creeps in, you're like, nope, soft wrist, ride the wave, go forward with him. And then, pretty soon it'll be gone. I swear, I think you'll have him totally forward like this within a few weeks. As long as you don't have a ride where you let, it all backslide.
Okay.
Which is why I think it would be good for you to have somebody with you to support you for a while. Maybe just for a few rides.
Okay.
But he's so awesome. I mean, he's a great mover. That you'll be going. You should be getting great scores on him when you're riding him without that little thing.
Well, yeah, because we get away with like mid-60s right now without going.
Right. He could be getting 70%. If being really balanced and stretched into the
Coming after
contact.
you, mid-76.
Oh, whatever. I haven't even got the first level yet. Stop.
All right, Deb, any questions?
No, that was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Fun. Say hi to BJ.